We'll talk defense. We'll give you our defensive keys to the game coming up next. Can they win the game for the Sooners?
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers. Defensively, Jay, what do we got to do, man?
Pressure, right? Auburn has 14 turnovers so far this season. They've had a couple of games where they've had at least 4 turnovers. We need to cause a lot of turnovers. Like, I just need you to hit the quarterback, get some more fumbles, get an interception here or there. Heck, get me a pick 6 or 2. Get me a pick 6 and a fumble 6. The goal for this defense is to outscore their offense, right? We know the run game's going to run, and they've struggled with keeping the ball in their hands on the run game too. So if anything, the most critical thing is eliminating any like big plays because their wide receiver, was it Lambert-Smith? He is averaging like 28 yards per catch, right? Which is
insane
that he's able to do that, which I think if I'm correct, he's actually leading. Yeah. Kendre Lambert-Smith, he's second in the country behind Ryan Williams over there at Alabama. 28.17 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. He's the dude that you got to watch out for. So eliminate all the explosive plays, and I think you can really settle down Auburn. And it's going to take a lot of discipline because Hugh Freeze is going to throw as much misdirection at you as possible. He's going to he's going to work your eyes. So eye discipline is going to be critical.
Yeah, and they've seen some of that this season, with the Houston game, but the Oklahoma defense rose to the occasion, held the Cougars in check for the most part. And so, yeah, it's going to be one of those, again, another team defensive effort. I think this is an opportunity, though, where they can not have to stack the box. They can play a little bit more too high and not get beat over the top. But I think, you're going to see more aggressive Brent Venables as well. He's not going to lay back. And Zach Alley's not going to lay back either. I think we'll see another big game from Robert Spears-Jennings because, again, an ascending player. I think we'll see Danny Stutzman return to his close to double-digit tackles. I think Auburn probably tries to take the ball out of the quarterback's hands a little bit more, tries to run the ball against Oklahoma's defense, see if they can get some big plays in the run game or at least create 3-4 yards a pop, and then go from there in the passing game. But if Oklahoma's defense is able to do like they've done all season long and slow down the run game, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine because I get that Tennessee was able to hit them for some big plays last week. I think they'll improve upon that. They'll be better than what they were last week. And if they can limit the big play, they can slow the run game down. It's going to play right into what Oklahoma wants to do, and that's get after the passer with the blitz, and then be able to play some coverage, mix up their zone and their zone blitzes and what they want to do defensively. I think so much of this is going to be won along the line of scrimmage, and Oklahoma's got a really, really good defensive line.
I agree. It's going to be as much pressure you can put on Peyton Thorne as well as Hank Brown this entire game. What's going to change everything. Remember, Auburn has fumbled the ball 10 times this season. They've lost 6 of them, and they've also got 8 interceptions, right? So they've kind of been very generous with giving the ball away. No shade to Auburn fans, but that's just the facts there. And I know that's the thing that's been concerning all the fans I've talked to so far. They're worried about Oklahoma continuing their streak of causing turnovers happening in this game. And that's going to be the thing, right? I always talk about, turnovers is a luck stat, but at the same time, there's some scheme to it, right? You set up your luck when it comes to turnovers, and the way that this team is playing and with this hair on fire, as fast as they are and as hard as they're hitting, we're going to see a lot of that. They're going to go out there and they're going to force as many turnovers as possible because they understand that they've got to compensate a little bit for the offense while we try to get this young quarterback up and running.
Yeah, Kanai Walker's been close in the last few weeks. He's had, like last week, I think he had 2 or 3 opportunities. The week before, he had a couple opportunities to get an interception. Maybe this is the week that he cashes in on one. Billy Bowman, I feel like, is due for one. Robert Spears-Jennings has been a turnover machine. R. Mason Thomas, he's been doing really, really well with the pass rush. Can we get more interior pass rush from a Dominic Williams, Grayson Halton? Can they win up front like that? Auburn may be without their right tackle, which plays into Oklahoma's hands a little bit too, because they can rush the passer off the right side and maybe create some pressure on Peyton Thorne, get in his face quick and make him throw the ball into some dangerous areas. Jay, do you have a good feel for how this game is going to go?
I think it's going to be an extremely ugly game based upon the weather and just all of the badness that's happened to both teams. It's going to be an ugly game. And if I was to give you a total, I'm thinking it's going to be take the under. That's definitely basically what I'm going to tell you now. Take the under. Yeah. Take whatever it is. I don't care what the number is. Go under. If you tell me the under is set, the total is set at 20, take the under. If it's set at 15, take the under twice. Because I just don't feel like, John, it's going to be that many points really scored in this game like we think. Now, Michael Hawkins could shock the mess out of us because technically Auburn doesn't have much film on him. He can go out there and show us up and decide that he's going to score, 6 touchdowns. We'd be like, oh, okay, well, didn't expect that. But I don't see it. I'll believe that when I see it. So me personally, I'm just saying take the under. It's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be ugly. Depending on how the field looks, it's going to determine a lot. But I think it's going to be an ugly, low-scoring game.
Yeah, I'm sitting at kind of 24-16 Oklahoma. I don't know if it's a special teams or defensive touchdown that gets them there, but I do think that they orchestrate enough offense to put some drives together. Now, no Tyler Keltner, so that's going to make the kicking operation a little bit interesting, but can Zach Schmidt step up now that he's needed to be your field goal kicker and go perform? That's
just true.
Guy. That's going to be a big element to this game.
If there's one thing about this defense, I'll say I think their goal is to keep them under 10 points.
Yeah.
They can keep them in single digits or just keep them at 0. Then, this is going to be one of those. Yeah. Now, the key to making Auburn only have 0 points or 3 points or under 10 points is the offense has to just move the chains consistently.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Just consistently. Keep that clock running. Honestly, also, John, I don't think there's going to be a lot of possessions in this game.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be pretty low. It's going to be one of those where you're like, man, this game went really fast. Why did it go so fast? Because everybody ran the ball nonstop. Right. You're going to look up and like, oh, wait, this game only took an hour and 30 minutes? That's crazy. Yeah, it's going to be a record speed of how fast this game ends. It's what it's going to look like.
ABC will slow it down somehow. They'll figure out.
Oh, yeah. They're going to call timeouts on purpose. Like, you know what? Yeah. We're going to call a timeout for you. Wait, I don't use my timeouts. It's fine. You don't have to. It's a freebie.
Yeah,
going to a commercial break.
We got you. Broadcast timeout. The TV timeout, like in the NBA games or the
somebody's injured.
Game. Yeah, that's right. No, I think it very much has a chance to be an ugly game, a low scoring game. I don't know. I feel like we're going to see something out of Michael Hawkins that gets them moving the ball pretty consistently, even if they only have 7 or 8 possessions in the game. I think Oklahoma's going to find a way to score on 4 of those to make this a 20. I think they get into the 20s is the long way of saying that. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Make sure you're ready for the live show coming up after Oklahoma Auburn. We'll break everything down that happened on Saturday afternoon here on Locked On Sooners. Hit that notification bell to let you know when we go live and when new episodes drop. But subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, as well over on YouTube. Follow me at John 9 Williams. You can read my work covering the Sooners over at Sooners Wire as well. Follow Locked On Sooners on all the social media profiles, platforms, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll catch you then. Boomer.
Sooner.